Denim Jeans Front Details Part 3. Okay, so this is a continuation, so make sure you watch parts 1 and 2. This is a conclusion of the details for your front pair of jeans. So I'm going to make sure that I have no fill, black stroke color only, and going on to my pen tool. And the last kind of details that we're going to be working with. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I'm still in my detail layer. And right off the bat, we're going to do the center front seam stitch. Okay, so all you have to do, it's pretty simple. You're just going to select your center front line and make sure that it extends and touches within the crotch area. And we're going to go ahead and Control C for copy, Control F for paste in front, move it off to the side, and just use the eyedropper tool to mimic that stitching. And that way we have, I'll take that out, there we go, and mimic that stitching so that we have consistency. And that's what you want. You want, as you can see, the stitching is consistent. It only gets different, let's say, on the belt loops where it gets a little smaller, but you want to keep as much consistency on the stitches. So next what we're going to do is the fly. We're going to do traditional fly. Some are more shorter, some are more narrow. The lower rise your jeans are, obviously the shorter the fly is. You're going to start right at the bottom of the waistband. You're going to stop about here. Do that again. And you could do solid line and then create create a dashed line. It's entirely up to you. So sorry, it's just really sticking now. And usually it's about at least the width of the button, and the smart guides are great to help you with that. So you click a nice straight line, and then you're going to go a little bit further down and create that nice little curve. And the rule of thumb is you want this about 90-degree angles right here. So I want this stitch line, I usually start as just solid, and you can go ahead and add usually it's a 2-needle cover stitch. If it's parallel to each other, you can go ahead and do that. If, for example, you have one that starts going a little further out or further in, then you have to draft one line and then draft another. If they're perfectly parallel to each other, then this is good. If it's not, then you would have to create, for example, just to show you, and then you'd have to do one line why it's doing that. There we go. There we go. Now it'll take the right stroke. There we go. But I can go ahead and make a copy. And what you want to do is manipulate it with that white arrow. So usually it's a little bit closer to each other. It's a little too close. But then that line starts blending into nothing. So then you can manipulate it with the white arrow so it blends into nothing, if that's the case. Okay, so there is a lot of variety within jeans, so you just have to keep that in mind. We're going to go ahead and just do the standard. So let's move it on over. Okay. Put it a little further out. There we go. A little up. Okay. So we have the fly. Usually we have another row of stitching right about here, and it usually ends about here. So you're going to want to go just straight and then kind of curve in a little bit because it goes under the crotch, but obviously we can't show that. So just kind of go in a little bit, curve it, or just go in, and it implies that it's just going to keep going. So you can go ahead and do that. And again, get that stitch line. To get fixed. I just have to get it out. For whatever reason, didn't take it in the preferences. And now I can go ahead and fix that. Okay. And usually we do have some reinforcement stitching here, like those little zigzag stitches, and it does vary from jean to jean. So we're going to go ahead and add just a little bit. A lot of times we see one about here. So you'll basically draft a little line like this and make sure that the line's solid, and you're just going to add a zigzag effect. So you're literally going to go to Effect, Distort and Transform, and Zigzag, and click Preview, and get that size really small, about 0.25 size, and more ridges per segment, just like that, really small. A couple more ridges right there is good. Click OK. And that's a little reinforcement stitch that you'll see in certain jeans. Sometimes you'll see it a little further in like that, and you'll see like another one here. So just go ahead and draft basically a solid line, and just go ahead and you can use the eyedropper tool and get the zigzag effect, or go ahead and just put it yourself. The effect, sorry, it's just too slow, it's taking too long. Okay, click Preview, 0.25, and just increase the ridges per segment. Click OK. Usually have that reinforcement stitching there as well. Okay. If you have reinforcement stitching here, then you just have to add that. The last main thing that you need to add to your jean front is the hem on the bottom, and it's typically 1 row of stitching on the bottom. And since it's so easy because it's a straight line, you don't have to copy from the shape layer. Just go ahead and draft the line, nice straight line. Press Shift, a nice straight line, and make sure that it's not past the boundaries, and this one is. Let me bring it in. And let me bring it in, and go ahead and add the stitch line. Since it's selected, I can go ahead and get my eyedropper tool, and I'm going to go ahead and select this stitch line and apply it there. And then just make a copy to the other side, and there we go. Okay, and I want to make sure that I get it. There you go. And I want to make sure that I have it on the other side, so you can go ahead and make a copy. Or you can just click, you can reflect, or just click and drag, make a copy. You can do that as well. Okay, make sure you get that double arrow. And for, again, due to that, there we go. It's very hard to get it to select options here. And go ahead and add it on here. And move it on over. Make sure it's within the boundaries. But if you reflect, it'll be more exact. Okay. And that's your bottom front hem. And that is how you do the details for your front. And in the next section, you'll learn how to do details for your back view. Hope you enjoyed.